Good morning, YouTube fans. Admiral Preparedness here. Today I'd like to cover a couple things that some of you may not like and some of you may like very much. Uh, you can either do it this way with one of these, or, this thing's been around for thousands of years. We know what it is, no sense we've been talking about it, but can you kill somebody with it? Well, yes, you can kill somebody with it if it's a well-placed shot and it's a well-placed ammo. One of these or one of these. This is the missus. This is the mister. What's nice about this one is it uses the same magazine for both of them. Now we know what these do. We know what these are capable of doing. And we know that these need to be respected with the greatest utmost in respect and care. At least when you have one of these, you know how to use it. This is the Glock, the 27 and the 23. I highly recommend you carry something that your local PD carries. I don't care what anybody says. Carry what they carry. Because guess what? Some building somewhere in your town has got parts. Someplace, some building where you live, there's extra ammo, magazines. You can find it. And remember, what your local PD carries usually are 9mm. These are 40 cals. My local PD here carries Glock 40 calibers. These are excellent weapons. They have the iridium sight, so you can see that. I'll get to where you can see it. Nice iridium. Kind of like lets you see whatever you're looking for at night. Fits good in the fingers, fits good in the hand. It's capable of getting the delivery, getting the weapon, getting that bullet down range. Can shoot short, can shoot long. Accurate, and it's going to hit that target and knock it down. You use a good smokeless powder. It's out there right now, and you're going to be able to make sure that you're going to hit that target. Easy to keep clean, not as many moving parts. You just have to remember that it's a deadly weapon, and you always, always, always want to carry, keep around your trigger lock. I don't care what kind you get. There's another kind that I used to have. This is now for my rifles. This is a trigger lock that goes around the bolt. You can put it through the receiver, through the magazine holder, and it ain't coming off. It's going to take a bit of an effort to get that removed. The other thing is carry a good supply of ammo. If you got one of these little loaders, I really like these, but I wish they'd make them in a better material, because after a little work, the pressure has a tendency to break. These are easy to hand load. Doesn't take much. You just have to be able to get the right grip. Little pressure. This was fully loaded. Kind of a pain, but small magazine, larger magazine. This one's got hollow points. You can see that or not. This one's got your target practicing on your low grain. I think it's a 120 grain, 40 caliber. What I also like to keep is, I got mine all protected from moisture. Not like that's around here. These guys are real good. They're really inexpensive. You take them, keep your guns clean, keep them in your containers. These guys, give it a good nice wipe over. You can use them with your cleaning tool for your barrel. Also remember that when you have these locks, that key, this key can go on a key ring. Just make sure that nobody knows that you've got it. I mean, if you have this on your key ring, not a lot of people even know what it even is. You know, it doesn't have to be kept there, but don't keep it near the weapon. Some people like to keep the weapons loaded, and then next thing you know, there's an incident at home where a young person their life has been taken away because they were not cognizant of where the weapon's stored, that it's loaded, and everybody else around them knows you have them. And that's one thing you got to be careful about, because if people know you have a gun in your house, that could be a bit of a handicap. The first thing a police officer asks you when they're at your front door is, are there any weapons in this home? Now, I hardly ever have them. Well, I'll just say this. They've never been to my house for any other reason other than we had a fire alarm go off because a smoke detector indicated that the house was filled full of smoke. The fire department showed up. We have a home monitoring system. The phone, one of my young people who live here had turned down the ringers, and we didn't know the phone was even ringing, so we missed a security call, and they showed up and with the fire department. And the first thing the man asked me was, is there any guns in the house? Well, let's put it this way. I wasn't under oath. So he went about his way. Nice drill for them. You always want to take care of these guys, make sure that they're kept in a nice secure area. If you leave them laying around, at least leave them empty. Don't give nobody any reason to go grab one of these things in the heat of passion, and next thing you know, you've got an incident in your home. I like to keep mine in a place where only I know where they're at, because we don't really live in a high crime area. We wouldn't live in a high crime area, just to let you know that. My father used to say when I was a very young man, if you don't like where you live, move. He said there's nothing tying you down that you just can't use your two little feet and get the heck out of get out of Dodge. He's a very smart man, but I recommend at least getting one of these, because one, on a Saturday morning, or you ain't got nothing else to do and you want to have some fun in the backyard, you can plink a few cans, or I don't recommend plinking bottles because you're going to break them and not going to clean it all up, and somebody later on is going to end up cutting themselves. Don't shoot at birds unless you plan on eating them. Don't shoot at critters unless you plan on eating them too. This one's pretty good. Got a nice little handle. Fits good in the hand. It's nice stainless steel molded material. It's got a nice little grip, rubberized material. I don't know where it was made, but I guarantee it wasn't made anywhere near me. I had to get on a boat someplace and get here. But that's a good thing. It's got a nice little BB carrying case. Cost me about $6 on the internet. Another item about these weapons with the 23 and the 27. These are a Glock is one of the best companies out there that I know, other than Winchester and Remington. And if you ever get a chance to go out in California and go to the Winchester Mystery House, I highly recommend it. That is one trippy place. One of these days, if I remember to go through all my photographs, I've got a tour of that place on a video. Another thing is 40 caliber ammunition. It comes in different grains, different types of bullets. Again, full metal jacket. These are just copper clad. You can find I haven't seen any green ones yet, but I'm not going out looking for them. I'm not going out looking for green weapon ammo because I really don't care. I got plenty in store right now. The other one is you need to check your homeowner's insurance, because it might be a little bit iffy if you got a large quantity of ammo situated in your home and there's a fire. They may not cover the catastrophe that occurs when those rounds start boiling off and going off. The fire department may not even want to be involved if you've got some rounds cooking off. So make sure you put those in a container that's fire resistant or fireproof. Keep them separated so there's not a large possibility of those guys all going and flying around. They won't, once your house is burned to the ground, they find these containers of ammo and they put two and two together. Your insurance company may say, pack sand, we're not going to cover you. Same with propane, same with keeping large quantities of gasoline located inside a residence. I always tell people when I'm ever asked or it ever comes up in discussion, where do you put your ammo? I, I put it everywhere. I'll put 1,000 rounds over here. I'll put 1,000 rounds over there. 200 over here. I never have them all contained in one large area unless I've got a large vault, which I don't have. I don't plan on getting one anytime soon. I don't need it. Where I live, I chose to locate my family where there's the least possibility of uncivil unrest, only because most people around here in their 70s and late 40s and all the chillins, they're down below in another state where they can get in a vehicle and come up here. But I got a feeling when SHTF ever does really happen, these freeways are going to be nothing but landing strips for military aircraft and helicopters because nobody's going to be able to afford to drive a car because there won't be no gas. You got to keep thinking, 3 days, 3 days. These ships come across the ocean. If there's nobody to offload the cargo or there's nobody there to process that chemical or material into the consumer product, it just stops. And as long as you've got a few, well, I don't care. You just have enough to last you a good long time. These weapons, they're not just going to break. They're built for reliability. They're built for toughness. They're polymer. They've got the steel where the steel needs to be, and the polymers where the polymer needs to be. The engineers designed these things to last a long time. Now, I wouldn't recommend continuously shooting through the barrel because you're going to end up wearing it out, or you break the firing pin, and you're pretty well screwed unless you got parts. Now, parts are not cheap for these, but at least carry a couple extra barrels, a couple extra firing pins, a couple springs. These guys, the only thing they're going to break is if you mess them up or get them gunked up so bad that they don't even want to work, because that spring is it's the no-brainers, friction fed. Don't lose the key. If you lose the key to these guys, it's going to take you a little bit of while to get this thing off the. If you don't have no reason to have a pistol lock or grip lock or a trigger lock, you don't need it. These guys here, anything will be ammo. That's one thing about these guys. Everything can be an ammo. If you've got a bicycle tire out there, you've got yourself a slingshot. That inner tube, if you've got any old cars, you're going to have, believe me, there's going to be plenty of supplies that you'll be able to use with this guy. Back in the day, they used to use a lot of different materials for the rubber stuff, so you can always find that laying around. I guess I've got less to say about it, so I won't ramble on. Hey, do me a favor, take care of your family, take care of your country, and remember, next time it's coming up with the voters to go vote, don't sit around and complain. Get out and vote. Admiral Preparedness, we're out.